Hello and welcome to another video. Today Monty and I have travelled to Portknockie, which, if you don't know, is a town or a little village in between Cullen and Buckie. And the most famous part of Portknockie would be Bow Fiddle Rock. And in fact, look where we are. We're right at Bow Fiddle Rock. Now Monty and I have been here before when we walked from Cullen to Portknockie and back. That was maybe a year or two ago. And yeah, we decided just to come to Portknockie itself today. So we've driven to Portknockie and we're going to have a little walk to Bow Fiddle Rock and also parts of the village as well. So we can actually walk down this path to Bow Fiddle Rock itself, and it's sort of like a large rock formation which is about 49 feet in height, and it's sort of a quartzite structure, and it's got very much a large arch and it resembles a bow and a fiddle. And it's sort of the formation of it dates back to from 1000 to 539 million years ago. And yeah, many people come here, thousands of people come here every single year to see this. So this is the closest we're going to get. I have seen little like kayaks or canoes going between bow and the fiddle here before. I've seen it on video, I've also seen it up close. Look at the choppiness of the water right now though. Would not want to be on the water there today. See if Monty wants a biscuit. Monty, biscuit. Another one? Sort of see now that it's home to so many birds, lots of seagulls, sort of nest, not necessarily nest, but they sort of maybe live there a lot of the time. And you can see another dog off in the distance there. Some of the cliff edges here look really steep. And yeah, beyond these walls over here would be Cullen, so you can walk all the way from Cullen to Portknockie and back again if you like, and it's also part of the Murray Coastal Trail. Sort of like an opening to a cave, you could almost call it here. Have a little look and see. Not sure how deep it is. And where it takes us. Take us to the water, I presume, but Monty. Yeah, you can see it there, look. Different perspective of it here. Okay, we got out of that predicament. Monty was sort of leading the way a little bit too eagerly there. I think it's safe to just come out of this cave now, but that was quite cool to see. But yeah, I'm guessing if there's quite a high tide, the water could absolutely swamp this area, but potentially. We're going to head back up on the path now. One last view of Bow Fiddle Rock. To the left hand side here. Love another view of it from the top though. So the town of Portknockie, or the village of Portknockie, was actually founded in 1677, and it was like a major herring fishing port within the area, and sort of nowadays there's only like a few commercial boats that are left. But yeah, back again in its heyday. Absolutely buzzing with fishermen. There's the local trade. So we're just at the top now, and if we continue this way, this will probably take us to Cullen. And as I said, we have done this walk in the past. I'll link a description of that down below. There's a bench here. This is quite a new bench actually. This wasn't here the last time. Dedicated to Catherine Margaret Mayer, who died in Edinburgh in 2023. There's a car park for Bow Fiddle Rock itself, the viewpoint, which is just over here. And this walkway would sort of take us back into Cullen via either the viaduct, or we could go to the beach itself as well. We might be able to get a view of Cullen if we walk a little bit longer. And just like Cullen, Portknockie was served by the train line, and that actually closed in 1968. So there used to be various different stops along the route. Cullen was one, Portknockie was one, but yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. The rail line does exist, and as I say, there's a viaduct in Cullen as well. But yeah, 1968 is when it was closed. So now they only do like a train line from Aberdeen to Inverness with various stops, sort of more inland, less by the coast, unfortunately. Just pan around here. Monty is tying with the knots, as you can see, wrapped right around me to spin round. Different perspective here of Bow Fiddle Rock off in the distance here. And here we go, here's the sign for Bow Fiddle Rock. If you wish, you can pause the video here to have a read of it for more information. I'll just scan right down it. You can sort of see the heron, pictures of the heron here, Bow Fiddle Rock itself. Maybe this is it years and years ago, potentially. It's maybe eroded since. And I don't know how much of a view we're going to get of Cullen, if any actually. It's maybe beyond the edges here. You can see the caravan site right at the top there. But yeah, town of Cullen, just beyond here. Absolutely love Cullen. Spent a lot of my childhood here, various different holidays with the family. We also did various walks to Portknockie and back. We're going to head into Portknockie now. There's also another historical site within Portknockie, and it's called the Green Castle. So that was a sort of an ancient coastal fort, and it's said to date back to 1000 BC, and it was sort of inhabited until 1000 AD. And now the castle foundations can be seen, although now they're covered in grass. I was trying to find it on the map when I was researching. I think it is maybe in this area. I did notice a point over here where there's an area covered in grass. It looked like there was, you know, formations as such. It could be that. I could be totally wrong. It could be a different area of Portknockie itself. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, the site was excavated between 1976 and 1982. I'm presuming they've discovered a lot of different artefacts in those few years that it was beginning to be excavated. Portknockie is said to be home to around 1,300 people, and there's about 500 homes in Portknockie itself. I don't know how many of those homes are occupied all year round, because in certain areas I presume that it'll be holiday lets, but some of the time, yeah, people will live here. Definitely people will live here 100% of the time as well. It's coming back into the viewpoint of Bow Fiddle Rock. We will hopefully have a little walk down into the harbour. It's only a little harbour. It's a little bit of a walk from here, but I'm sure we'll be able to have time for that. actually going back on ourselves a little bit now. I just forgot about this path here. We'll walk up here for this viewpoint over here. And then we can turn back. Should be able to walk up here. Hoping to see some wildlife here, some dolphins, but I think it maybe is a little bit too choppy today, unfortunately. You can see the boat off in the distance there. Over this direction would be the likes of Portknockie, also Bucky as well. See the sheer force of those waves crashing through those cliff walls there. And in terms of Portknockie Harbour, it's over in this direction, over here. Lottie, here. Good boy. So there's actually a sign here at the car park for Bow Fiddle Rock. Welcome to Portknockie. A little bit of history of it. If you want, you can pause it. I won't read it out. You can read it out if you like. Maybe zoom in if you can. And yeah, a little bit more about Bow Fiddle Rock here as well. So yeah, the rock itself is composed of sandstone and conglomerate, and it's been eroded over time by powerful waves. You can sort of see that back there. And yeah, it's about 50 feet tall as well. And yeah, cemetery rocks were deposited around 500 million years ago. And yeah, we're sort of parked here. Bow Fiddle Rock is just here. And yeah, the harbour is over here. And here's Monty. A little walk into Portknockie itself. It's just like your typical sea town. Some beautiful colours. Some nice, beautiful views as well. And I've tried to get some signal on my phone, and it's almost impossible to get any sort of signal at the moment. I just hope we're going in the right direction. I know the harbour is over this way somewhere. There's a sign here. Three Creek Shore. So this is Three Creek Shore, and it's okay, interesting. So yeah, you got Three Creek Shore down here, the 20s. Off in the distance, just right there, I think. You've got Dudgeon Cave over here, and Shooting Craig over here, and then Bow Fiddle Rock is just right at the top, right there is Bow Fiddle Rock. Oh yeah, this is Greencastle. It was right enough actually. I was thinking this is what it would have looked like probably back in the day. I've probably got it over here somewhere. And there's a 24 metre high promontory in front of you that protects Portknockie Harbour. It seems to have been occupied by a sort of fortified settlement from the Iron Age. So this goes back to the Vikings. And the Moray Firth is one of 2 places in the UK which is a resident school of dolphins and harbour porpoises. And you can walk down this path over to this, or the edges there, and also there looks like to be, you can also walk down to the bottom here as well. So there's people down there at the moment. Looks like there's a sort of mini Bow Fiddle Rock right there as well. Not quite the same, but it looks like you can probably see through that there. So the 220 is off in the distance there, right in the center of the shot there. Just panning round. I think this does take us to the harbour, yep. So yeah, it's only a short walk, so yeah, we've got Bow Fiddle Rock just off in the distance here, and the harbour just down here. It's got a little outdoor pool, or what used to be the outdoor pool here. You can actually in fact walk along this way. You can sort of see this is the oldest part of the town, I believe, as well. A lot of these houses here were built first, probably for a lot of the fishermen who used to live in the houses here, and then they used to work from the boats here off into the Murray coast. I don't know if there's any. There's a few boats actually. I was going to say there's no boats, but there's a few boats here. Actually, no, there's more than quite a few. There's quite a few boats. Wow. You can't take the car down. We're just going to walk. But yeah, if you want to do, there's probably decent enough space there for probably about 10 to 15 cars, maybe a bit less. Public toilets, I think, there. That white building down there looks like public toilets. And here's the harbour itself. We'll actually come right along this path here. We'll probably go right along here, right to the end. I want to see if there's any more information as well about the harbour, and maybe the outdoor pool as well, the Lido. It does look like it's in use. Looks like it's needs a bit of maintenance. But yeah, I can see there's an information board just next to those picnic benches over there. We can have a little look and see what it says. Yeah, public toilets here. Also a dolphin awareness sign. So yeah, dolphins and porpoises can be injured in collisions with powerboats or personal watercraft, or jet skis, if they're disturbed by underwater, and they are disturbed by underwater noises. So yeah, I don't think we'll see any today, but we could. Got some boats here. See what this sign says over here. There's some history on the harbour itself. So it looks like we're here. The Lido's here as well. Different type of boats here. So there's three salmon fishers moved from Cullen, which is over this way, and found Portknockie in 1677. Interesting. So yeah, by the 18th century, Portknockie had grown to 80 houses and over 240 inhabitants. And the harbour was built of concrete rather than more typical stone construction. In 1933, the outer pier of the jetty of the inner harbour were lengthened to accommodate more boats. So at the time, it had 58 steam drifters employing 555 fishermen using Portknockie Harbour. So it's mainly used for recreational purposes, although small fishing boats still go out to the creels and for mackerel. Looks like they also do like surf lessons here, like a surf school, a company called Blue Coast. You see there, Blue Coast there. They do various different things here. And you can book at bluecoastcullen.co.uk. Here is the pool here. What used to be the pool, the Lido. Wish I had more information on this, I don't, sadly. Well, I don't think we'll go the other way, I think we'll just go this way along the harbour wall here. sure if we'll see any dolphins or not. It's got a bit of a climb up to the other houses there. We've just obviously climbed, walked down it, but we also got to climb back up it when we do that. So I'm going to go to the end of the wall here. See, we could have gone round the other way. We might have got a better view there. What are you thinking, Monty, eh? What are you thinking? Looking for sort of bubbles under the water. There's no signs of any dolphins, I don't think, at all today, I'm afraid. A biscuit. You're licking your lips, aren't you? Okay, sit. Good boy. Really quiet around here today. I've met a few people, said hello to them, a couple of dogs. But yeah, on the whole, it's been nice and quiet. Sort of like it that way, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's been a lovely day here. Only been here for maybe half an hour or so. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be or how it's going to turn out, but hopefully it's going to be at least watchable for a little while, hopefully. Favourite part was definitely seeing Bow Fiddle Rock again. So I love coming to this area to see that. People come from all over the place to see that as well. Very much a famous sort of part of this part of the world up in the Murray. And now we're sort of coming back along the harbour walls here. We're going to go back to the car. There probably is a lot more to see in Portknockie itself. But yeah, the main parts are sort of covered, the harbour and Bow Fiddle Rock, which have been really good. I'm actually going to go along this way instead of going up the hill. I think you can, from what I can see, you can actually walk through this direction over here. Hopefully, we'll have a little look. Very much calming down this area here. It's just like the sheer force of the water hitting those walls there and some ferocity. But here it's nice and calm. Also looks like this is a dead end for cars. There's a van parked there, but it looks like you can't maybe take any vehicles further than maybe what this van is here. This truck. Just for pedestrians only. And this here is actually the harbour garage, it says here. Hope you can go this way. So interestingly, this path that I just came from over here takes you to here, which also leads to the path we were on earlier. So the harbour is just over this way. You can in fact walk down this way, which I pointed out earlier, to down here to the 220s, which is just over here. And yeah, you can walk right from the harbour from the left hand side as well. That's good to know for next time, or for anyone else who's watching the video that ever comes here. A little bit of a shortcut. Now I think we're just going to finish the video here. We've been here for, as I say, about maybe 45 minutes now. We're not going to go too deep into Portknockie itself. We just want to cover the main points. And I love these mosaics here of looks like maybe the salmon. 2009, we make our way back home. That's what it says here. Yeah, I'm gonna round up the video here, guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Bye. Say bye, Monty.